I went to a restaurant on the moon and I thought to myself, the food is great here, but there's literally no atmosphere. Upon the nice entrance of getting your own ship and feeling like you can finally explore the world that is Starfield, I can already hear you thinking, how the hell do I get rid of this piece of junk and finally get something better? And that's what we're going to talk about in this video, the 2 easiest ways to actually get better ships, in my opinion, except for obviously buying one or updating the one that you have or doing a specific mission, because those will be separate videos. And honestly, space piracy or just stealing pirate ships themselves, it's just more fun. So that's what we're going to talk about today. While you can do this from the base game ship at any point, there are some skills that are going to make this significantly easier for yourself. So we're going to highlight those very quickly. The easiest one is ballistic weapons in addition to piloting. Now, there's a lot of confusion about piloting. If you want to steal a B or a C class ship, because for some reason they decided that A class would be the worst class of ship, and then they thought, B and C, those will be the better ones. You want to make sure you have these perks. You can still board a B and C class ship without this perk, but you won't be able to take it for yourself. You'll only be able to loot what's on there. The most quintessential perk to making this easy to do in regards to actually boarding those ships successfully is targeting control systems. You'll see why in a live demonstration. Why this is so important, though, is that you want to be able to actually go and lock onto specific parts of the ship because you're going to be targeting those engines. And once those engines are disabled and there's nobody else that can shoot at you, you can board those ships, and that's what makes this the most essential perk, in my opinion, along with the others. Ballistic damage is just nice to have because, well, ballistic damage is what's going to do the most damage to those targeted components. In fact, you really want to avoid lasers in my experience. And then if you want to start getting those beefier piloting ships, you want to make sure that you have piloting. It's also good to take these up early because as you kind of use them, destroy ships, loot ships, blow up ships, it's going to basically level up. And you're going to be able to get a lot of XP that way. So it's important to get these early because you have to actually do the challenge to get the next rank of the skill. Now, this next part is a little bit more tricky, and that is finding ships that you actually want to go out and take. Now, there's a couple different ways that you can do this. You can focus on systems that are owned, such as the Sol system and other systems, that have major settlements, and sometimes you can find, a little bit of conflict between those peoples, and sometimes you might get random QTE events like we're doing right now. However, I like to go to uncharted systems a little bit better, and I'll tell you why. You want to make sure that you are honing in on a really good ship, and when you are fighting with other people and their UC is shooting ships and you're shooting ships, you don't want them to blow up your nice ship. So I try to focus on more of the undiscovered systems, but your chances of getting that event might be a little bit lower, but I think overall it will save you a little bit of headache. And if you're like me, you just keep getting QTE events, like finding grandmother, for example. And, while I definitely could show this video as to how to disable grandmother's ship and board it and take it for yourself, I don't know if I have the heart to do that. If you want, go talk to grandma. She has tons of food on her ship. Be nice to her. And don't destroy her ship or board it or do anything, even if it's for a YouTube video. And so we have finally been attacked by space hyenas. So we are going to do the smartest thing possible. We are going to save the game. So we've just jumped into this system. Asteroid systems are notoriously housed for pirates. So these are the ones that you might want to just fly a little bit through. And there we go. So we have seen pirates. We are going to quick save. The next thing that we are going to do is focus on the weaker ones, get rid of those first, blow up their ships, and then keep the bigger, higher level ship or whatever ship looks nicer for ourselves. So after you've taken some minor damage, you want to get behind your last enemy, continue to lock onto them, and focus on the engines. Now, you're not going to do a whole lot of engine damage until the shields are down, but once the shields are down, that's when you're really going to want to lay it on thick. Ideally, you want all of your damage to be in that lock-on engine target range because you don't want to deal too much damage to other areas, and you really want to focus on your ballistics and your missiles for this. They will deal the most damage, And then when you see the enemy turning around, all you have to do is just get behind them again. It's significantly easier once they're the only one left. And the nice thing is pirates generally do not run from fights. And you guys can see that I'm really spacing out my shots. Your goal is to get rid of all of those yellow bars that they have into that powered engine. And once you're able to, you're going to be able to press the X button or your equivalent and then easily hop over into their ship. You're going to see we're going to be able to get a critical hit to finish them off, and then we're going to be able to hit the X button here and then dock on them. And from here, all you have to do is board and eliminate all of the enemies on the ship. And then once you've done that, you just hop in the pilot seats. We're going to do that quickly and then run back. Sometimes it seems like these fights are in zero gravity. Other times it seems like they are not. I don't know exactly what causes that, but then all you have to do is take the seat of the captain and you are able to take it. Now you can see that even though I have killed all of the enemies that I have seen, there are still some left on the ship. But if you're running low on munitions and things, as you might be on a brand new game, kind of like I am, you're able to loot the captain's seat. So let's go find that final guy and come back. This is where procedural generation can be a little bit finicky sometimes, as I had to go through up and down different ladders just to find this little random guy. And it can be a bit crazy. Your procedurally generated ship that you are going to receive could have stairwells up, down, cargo bays, all sorts of all places. It could have a ladder that leads to nothingness except a random infirmary. That's the beauty and the not so beauty of when you're dealing with procedural generation. But obviously, once you have the ship, you can do whatever you want with it. So then we just head back over to the seat here. And once you tap A, you take the ship and you can make it your primary. In fact, it will become your primary upon you clicking A and flying off with it. Now, some quick reminders and tips. It's important to make sure we talked about that tip at the beginning, making sure that you have the appropriate level to pilot certain ships. If you go after a big ship, you're going to want to make sure that you have all of the abilities to get B and C class ships because those are worse than A for some reason. It also makes it easier to definitely have the target control systems. If not, you're basically blind as to where you're shooting, and that can be a little bit more tricky. Also, too, you probably don't want to be in ship combat until you have the ability to utilize a lot of these extra perks. Now, the easiest way you can level up these things is you can go to the UV combat tutorials. They have a ship tutorial that you can do in Atlantis. It's great. And as a quick reminder too, please make sure to remind yourselves that you're taking a pirate ship. If you take a pirate ship, you can obviously destroy any ships or take any ships from any noble people that you want. But if you take a pirate ship, they probably have contraband. Make sure that you do not go and get caught with said contraband because that would be very bad, obviously. I don't want you to see you guys go to jail because then you probably are going to join the Crimson Fleet and we don't need any more of those hooligans. The other thing too is if you notice ships landed on the ground, you guys are able to go out and basically assassinate them and take their ship from them. There are some pros and cons to this. The con is that they do not stay landed for very long, so you really have to move quickly, especially if you are outside of what I would call render distance. So you really want to make sure that you are hustling up there. In fact, this is not my footage. I'll link the full video to this in the comments below because every time I would try to get close with those ships, they would fly away. But I think it's important to note that if you see a ship land next to you, you can take it. And you should take it because it's free. As a reminder, it's probably got contraband, and contraband is illegal, unfortunately. I don't make the laws, I just tell you about them. So make sure that you guys sell that, and it's the same process. Kill everyone inside, sit in the pilot seat, and then the ship is yours. Exceptionally simple, but sometimes a bit more meticulous because you don't always have all of the control over how long it's going to be landed. But thankfully, once you've entered the ship, it becomes significantly easier and you're able to kill everybody. Once you're in the ship, basically, you just have to finish everyone off and then you're done. It's the same process. Jump in that pilot seat and bada bing, bada boom, the ship is now yours. Also, if you're confused as to why they're now in space, well, guess what? That for some reason, whenever you jump in a ship that's grounded, the first thing they do is take off. I guess they're like, screw the people on the ground. We're out of here. So don't be shocked if that happens. But I just want to thank you guys so much for watching. This is my second ever Starfield video on a topic that I think is exceptionally important because People want ships right away, so what better way to get a ship than to take one from pirates who are already going to attack you anyway? So thank you guys so much again for watching. I actually do 3 giveaway drawings for those of you who are new to the channel. I also post the winners on every video, so throughout the month you'll always see the winners. For the previous month, I pick 1 random like, 1 random subscriber, and then a random word will be flashed upon one of the videos that I kind of make throughout the month. Last month the word was banana. Will it be a fruit this month? Who knows? There's also a little bit of an audio cube for the audio listeners. That way they can kind of tune in and think, oh, maybe there's something on screen. So thank you guys so much again for watching, and I'll catch you later. Bye, guys.
You better remember to like and subscribe to Jake Clips. Or you should. I might have to pluck your eyes if you don't. Or, better yet, I'll skip rope with your entrails. Do it now. Subscribe. Ta-ta. Off with you.
What's up, Starfield people? Are there any other guides and things that you'd be helpful? I was thinking about maybe an easy to acquire ship guide, starter tips, things the game doesn't tell you, etc. type videos. I always feel like those are very helpful for newer players, especially. And even me, when I look at things, I'm like, what are some starter tips? What should I know? What should I do? And so that's what I would be interested in hearing from you guys. What can I help you with? And I'll see you there. Bye, guys.